Hey guys, Satellarknight here. I'm sorry I have not been active here lately, but I've been doing a bunch of deck testing and going to tournaments and stuff. And this is actually my latest deck build for Satellarknights, and it's actually not just Satellarknights. So I call this my Shimmering water deck, and you'll see why. People will say this deck sucks at tournaments. I actually won 2 tournaments with it so far, so let's get started. First off, for the main deck, you have your standard Satellarknights, your 3 Deneb, and your 3 Altair. Then you have 3 Shuret Strategist of the Nekroz. This one, it acts as a full tribute for a ritual summon, as long as it's just one Nekroz monster, so I can easily bring out Trishula or Bryanak or any of those. And then I have 1 Sirius, 1 Vega, and 1 Unikahai, because you only run 9 Satellarknight monsters in this deck, so you really do need Sirius, and Unikahai will help you set up those Sirius plays. And then the last effect monster in this deck that's not a ritual, Manju of the 10,000 Hands. When it's summoned, add a ritual spell card or monster from your deck to your hand. Doesn't matter the level, so it helps. For your ritual monsters, you have 2 Unicorn. When on the field face up, it negates the effects of all extra deck monsters that are face up on the field. So it helps you out with your with going against Satellarknight mirror matches. Then you have 2 Colossus, pretty much a search for the ritual spells. Colossus, that's the main reason I use him. I rarely bring him out because I don't run the Genlock in this deck. I run 1 Nekroz of Decisive Armor. Sometimes I bring him out on the field, but a lot of the time I just use him to boost the attack of my Nekroz. Run 1 Trishula. When I can either discard it and negate something that targets a Nekroz I control, or banish a card from the hand, grave, and field when it's summoned. I run Gungnir as well. I only run 1 of her. I can discard her to stop the destruction of a Nekroz card I have, or during either player's turn, discard 1 Nekroz card, target 1 card on the field, and destroy it. Then I run 1 Bryanak in my main deck. The other one's in my side. But Bryanak's your main searcher for Nekroz monsters, and when he's summoned, it also helps out against the Satellarknight mirror match and stuff like that because of the extra deck cards. Summon, send up to 2. Well, actually send exactly 2 back to the. Actually, no, it's up to 2. Back to the extra deck. Then I run. That's it for all my monsters. For spells, I run 2 Reinforcement of the Army for all my warriors in this deck. Run 2 Nekroz Kaleidoscope and 2 Nekroz Mirror. I do not run Nekroz Cycle because it gets really cloggy in this deck, and you don't want that at tournaments. Then I run 1 Raigeki to help get rid of my opponent's monsters, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon to get rid of back row, and that's it for all my spells. For the traps, I run 3 Telenova Alpha to help out when it comes to negating stuff and effects and stuff, especially the Satellarknight mirror match. 2 Mirror Force for the Yosenju matchups and Nekroz and stuff like that. Any Swarm deck mirror match, Mirror Force is helpful in. 2 Fiendish Chain for Nekroz matches and stuff like that. 1 Compulsory Evac, they bring out Triver or something, or Delteros or something like that, or even El Shadow Wind to send it back. Solemn Warning, negate the summon of their cards. This one is devastating to Cliffords. Wiretap, for if they want to try and use Bottomless Trap Hole or anything on your cards, or Mirror Force. And speaking of Bottomless Trap Hole is the last trap I run in this deck. So total, that's a 40 card deck, 20 monsters, 8 spells, so that means about 11 traps, maybe 12, somewhere in there. Let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 traps, so that's a 40 card deck. That's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, you want to run 3 Stellarknight Nekroz. It helps you out when you don't have a unicorn on the field to stop its effect. 1 Diamond for the Raid Raptor matchups, now that those things are out. I'm probably going to make a Raid Raptor deck, I don't know yet. 1 Satellarknight Nekroz. For its graveyard effect, you can bring out a Satellarknight from your deck or hand. And for its field effect, remove a material, destroy something. It can even destroy something you control if you need it off the field. Then I run 1 Abyss Dweller to help out the Nekroz because they're all water types, or water attribute. Run a Steel Swarm Roach for Nekroz matchups and the Infernoids and stuff like that. 1 Gagaga Samurai. It remove a material, it can attack twice, so that's pretty nice. 1 Hero Champion Excalibur. Remove 2 material, its original attack doubles. 1 Castel the Skyblaster Musketeer. For its effect, remove 2, send 1 card back to the deck. Number 101 Silent Honor Arc to take control of an opponent's monster. And that's it for the XYZ part of this deck. For the synchros, I run 1 Herald of the Arclight. When it's sent to the grave, I can add a ritual spell or monster from my deck to my hand. 1 Colossal Fighter, so I can bring out 2 Unicorn with it. Azurai Silver Dragon. I run this in here, so if I ever decide to actually bring out a Colossalus, I can also bring out a Brionac with it. And then 1 Shooting Quasar Dragon, just for Trishula and Colossalus, if I want to bring out Colossalus again. So that's it for the extra deck. For the side deck, monster-wise, I run 1 Flying Sieve to stop XYZ summons, and 1 Thunder King Ryo to stop the special summons and searching of the deck. Then I run 1 Nekroz of Brionac as a ritual monster, in case I ever decide I do need to run a second one in the second game, because just one's not helping me out that much. For the spells, I run 1 Constellar Belt for going against Clifford decks when they activate Skill Drain, or any deck that runs Skill Drain for that matter. 1 Defusion for the Shadow matchup. They bring out Window or something, send it back, they don't get their monsters back. 1 Dimensional Fissure. It's devastating against Cliffords, you destroy them, they get banished, they don't go to the extra deck. 2 Spell Shattering Arrow for the Clifford matchup. So that's it for my spells, because Spell Shattering Arrow pretty much just gets rid of face up. Then the trap version of it, I run 2 Fairy Wind. Difference between these: Spell Shattering Arrow, you inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Fairy Wind, you inflict 300 damage to both players. And then I run 1 Light of Intervention for the Shadow flip effects and Ghost Tricks and stuff like that. 1 Mind Crush for the Nekroz and stuff like that. Soul Drain for the Shadow graveyard effects. Torrential Tribute for any Swarm deck matchup. And then 1 Vanity's Emptiness for anti-meta play when you need to just stop the special summons completely. And that's it for my deck. And this thing has won tournaments. If you run this deck and they see you running it, they will say that it is not a good deck at all. They will say it sucks. Don't listen to them, because someone said that to me yesterday, and then I went against them in the last round of the tournament, and first turn I got out Brionac, Trishula, and not 3 Deltaros, just 1 Deltaros, and they lost the game in my first turn because Trishula just banished all their stuff on the field, and they didn't have a good day, so they lost the game in game 2 because I won round 1 of the match pretty easily. So yeah, that's it for my Satellarknight matchup. Well, it's not really Satellarknight anymore, but my Shimmering Water. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Have a great day, guys. Satellarknight signing off.